So I just got robbed. Some of the MTA workers were staring at me, watching me if I was awake or not. You know, on February 5th, 2026, around 9 p.m., I saw somebody defecate or somebody left doo-doo on Atlantic Avenue station floor near where you take the elevator to the near where you take the elevator to the number 2 platform going to Brooklyn. So I recorded the defecation on the floor. People were stepping on the defecation, and I was saying, you know, the Inspector General of the MTA should do something about this MTA abusing people. They don't let people use the bathroom. I'm a homeless Nigerian. The NYPD took my home wrongfully on Staten Island in 2010, and I filed a court case 13 CB 5052 to get my home back. So I always come on the train while my case was going on, and the black American that was helping me with the court papers, Eric Garner, the police when I choked him dead. Then some MTA workers told me that the police told them to set me up and for the police to come and kill me. So anytime I try to use the bathroom, the police will come and harass me in the bathroom. You know, wouldn't give me enough time to finish. You know, and I have diarrhea. This is the pills I take for my diarrhea. You know, so at that time, you know, and so they killed Eric Garner around my birthday, and it appears they killed him on purpose, because I used to come to the Brooklyn Library on Eastern Parkway to type the court papers that was going to sue the MTA with the police department with 13 CB 5052 federal court. You know, that's the receipt number of the court papers in federal court I filed. You know, and the police would harass me as I'm typing the court papers at the Brooklyn Library. They would message me, say I have a lot of stuff. I'm bringing too many bags to the library, and I would report them to the library, take their badge number down, and the library would sometimes apologize for the wrongful behavior of the police. So I continued coming to the library to type the court papers. I guess the police were jealous, and they went and choked Eric Garner dead on Staten Island, close to my birthday, the place where I just met him, to taunt me. You know, so these police are engaging in terror. So so in order to provoke me, because this is how they kill the black Americans, they get them angry and they choke and they kill them. You know, so in order to provoke me, anytime I use the bathroom in the subway, they would leave the bathroom dirty, wouldn't flush. I would complain, call 511. I believe that was the number to make a report against the MTA. You know, and they wouldn't help me. The MTA wouldn't help me. I said, you know, even the police would come and bother me in the bathroom, would let me finish. So I used to use the bathroom near Eric Adams' office in the train station, 4th Street, number 2 line, women's bathroom. You know, at that time, Eric Adams was the borough president of Brooklyn, and the police would come and harass me in the bathroom, throw me out. So I would go across the street from the train station and say, look, in Ohio, a Nigerian like me just became mayor in Ohio, and I'll say in Iowa, they're letting undocumented immigrants have driver's license. I said the New York City needs to welcome immigrants, you know, in New York, and stop discriminating against us. You know, soon after the police arrested me here in Brooklyn, you know, and on July 20, 2019, a day synonymous with my mother's daughter's son's birthday. My mother was also killed by her daughters, who framed as crazy was I was trying to sue U.S. immigration, and I was trying to sue NYPD. The immigration had arrested me as a child when my mother brought me here with a green card, wrongfully saying my mother's green card doesn't cover me, and they're not supposed to separate you from your parents as a child, you know. So I was going to sue the immigration, I was going to sue NYPD. I used to research the case at the Brooklyn Library, and the police started bothering me, killed Eric Garner that was going to be helping me with the court papers, you know. So then they used to bother me in front of at the train station when I'm using the bathroom, after they killed Eric Garner. And Eric Adams was the borough president of Brooklyn. He knows the Eric Garner family. So I guess some black Americans don't like Africans. So, Eric Adams was also a police officer who became the borough president. Somebody told me, stop coming to Brooklyn, otherwise we're going to F you up. So I didn't understand what was going on. So soon after that, after they threw me out of the train station bathroom on Court Street, next to Eric Adams' office, he was the borough president in 2019. If I try to use the bathroom on Chambers Street, the 2 train, in my hand, they will send thugs to throw all my stuff all over the place. Say stop using the women's bathroom. I'm gay. I was born a boy, now I'm a girl. But they're allowing gays to use the women's bathroom in New York City at that time. The law just changed. Then soon I still came to Brooklyn. Then I used to go to Bay Ridge Avenue and Fourth Avenue to beg for money and stuff. And they would have people pull a sword on me. Call the police officer, we don't want you in Brooklyn at all. They would send little kids to be spitting on me, and the police wouldn't help me. Even the police would drive with the little black American kids on Bay Ridge Avenue for them. So we're going to arrest you and frame you up and take all your property from you. We just don't want you in Brooklyn. I'm like, why wouldn't you want me in Brooklyn? So I would call the Internal Affairs Bureau. Now I would call 911 to link me up with the Internal Affairs Bureau of the NYPD. These are the supervisors of the NYPD to report that NYPD is joining with criminals in Brooklyn to attack me. And the NYPD will hang up the phone on me, the Internal Affairs Bureau, say we don't understand your accent. And they were just trying to provoke me. Then on July 20, 2019, as I was begging for money, they sent a guy to slap me in my head. July 20, 2019, Trump was doing the immigration raid. And I had my green card, my social security card in my luggage. And I put it in my luggage. So they sent a guy to slap me in my head, and the police camera was recording on Bay Ridge Avenue. So I was very angry with the guy, and then the police came and arrested me. So you were angry? I said, yeah, guy slapped me. And I've been noticing the police and civilians bother me in this area and every area. As I was talking, the police knocked me down. I went and locked up in the psych ward and stole my luggage with green card and social security card, and I saved a lot of money I was going to use to buy a house. And they locked me up at the NYU Psychiatric Hospital, and they framed me up as crazy, and the hospital wouldn't let me leave. And they were just terrorizing me, so they were going to keep me there forever. At that time, my mother's daughters had just killed my mother. My mother said they were into narcotic, like drug dealing, especially one called Bolale. And my mother said they were very jealous that me and my mother could get a lot of money, because me and my mother was about to sue immigration for immigration arrested when I was a child, which caused my mother to have a heart attack. So they were poisoning my mother's food with cancer food poison, which killed my mother. So then, my mother went to the hospital, and the daughters came to the same hospital and told the hospital to lock my mother up in a mental ward, and this is how my mother died. So the MTA and the police were going to kill me the same way my mother was killed. And they had already killed Eric Garner also. They framed him as crazy. My mother just framed my mother as crazy and killed her. So the NYPD framed me as crazy also. And locked me up in the psych ward, choked me and everything. Somebody was recording. You can watch the video on my YouTube. So they were just traumatizing me. Then Eric Adams, who used to be a police officer, weeks later, after the police choked me in 2019, weeks later, close to my mother's birthday, my mother was born on Martin Luther King's Day. And on Martin Luther King's Day, around Martin Luther King's Day, January 20 actually, a day after my mother was born, birthday. On January 20, 2020, Eric Adams, he was borough president. He went to a Apollo Theater in Manhattan in front of black Americans. This is black Americans like Africans. And he made a statement to mock me, the way the police arrested me and stole my green card. He said, you go back to Ohio. He was mimicking things I used to say. I used to say, in Ohio, they let an Nigerian become mayor. I used to say, in Iowa, they let undocumented immigrants have driver's license. I was saying the NYPD should stop bothering immigrants. So this Eric Adams, after the police arrested me, stole my green card, he went and said he went to Apollo Theater and said, "You go back to Ohio, you go back to Iowa. Say we're not going to welcome you outsiders to New York. Say New York City is for us. That we've been here for generations. So we're not going to welcome you. I said, you go back to where you came from." And some of the black Americans were clapping. They were shouting, "Hey, hey, And soon they elected Eric Adams as mayor. And he was sending the police to be arresting homeless like me. I was using the bathroom last year. The police came to the bathroom, dragged me out, said I stole something, and I didn't steal anything. And and they've been stealing my bags. So yesterday, February 5, 2026, I saw somebody defecated on the floor of the train station, Atlantic Avenue, near the elevator, where you take the elevator to number 2 train going to Brooklyn. And people were stepping on the defecation. Nobody was looking at it. So I was screaming, "Don't step on it, that's doo-doo." People didn't know. Everybody was stepping into the doo-doo. I said, hey, don't step on it, that's doo-doo. Then an MTA worker quickly came to be wiping the doo-doo. I said, "This is nasty." So I was recording it. And I said, "No, Inspector General of the MTA, you're investigating this MTA for, not letting people use the bathroom." I said, "Please, you have to do something." And I said, they don't let me use the bathroom. And now they reduced the bathroom hours for after Eric Adams made that statement. Say, "You foreigners, go back to where you come from. Go back. We're not going to let you here. We're not going to allow you to welcome you." And in 2020, they elected him mayor in 2022. I used to come on the train to tell people not to vote for him. He doesn't like foreigners, and they elected him in 2022. And now Trump last year, Eric Adams was found to be collecting bribery from the Turkish government. And they used to send Turkish people to try to kill me in Brooklyn. So that case was about me. The Turkish government said they thought Eric Adams could become president. So they used to bribe him to allow the Turkish government have access to America. And they said they built a house, an apartment building in Manhattan that was a fire hazard. And Eric Adams took money from the Turkish government and told the fire department to approve the building. Even though it's a fire hazard, so Biden arrested Eric Adams in 2024. But Trump became president in 2025 and told them to drop the case, saying he needs Eric Adams for immigration enforcement. Because I also have evidence against Trump. He duped me in 2011. It's Trump Casino in Atlantic City. When you win money there, they won't give you the money, call the police on you. So he did it to me. Even the U.S. Congress is investigating him. And one of the congressmen, Mr. Mark Kelly, is a Democrat congressman from Arizona, said Trump was duping people in 2011 in his casino. And then he shut down his casino and said they want to investigate that case. So this Trump wanted me to get me killed, because I have a lot of evidence against the way they killed a black American. The police and the immigration said the black American that was going to help Eric Garner. And I have evidence against Trump. That was the time they tried to run me over, in 2014. After the police killed Eric Garner, somebody told me to go and wait in front of Trump's house on Fifth Avenue, said they're going to give me Christmas present for homeless. As soon as I was waiting in front of his house, he came with his SUV and tried to run me over, and people saw it and everybody was screaming, "That's Trump trying to run you over." And I saw him in the SUV. And soon after I posted that he could shoot somebody from Fifth Avenue and nobody would know it's him or whatever, and he will still win the election. And at that time, Hillary was saying the Russians want to have Trump win the election. And he won the election. And, and he was the one that first boasted in 2014 that the election is already fixed, that no matter what's going to win. And Hillary was saying the Russians are going to help Trump win the election. And Trump won the election. And when they were investigating him for the election interference, he quickly deleted the computer, the phone he was using to call the Russian leader. So they had to stop the investigation. They said even the law enforcement community in America, the CIA, FBI, came to a conclusion in 2017 that Russia helped Trump win the election. But Trump didn't release any evidence. He became president right away. So anytime I record evidence against MTA, the NYPD will try to kill me. So yesterday I saw somebody doodle all over the floor on Atlantic Avenue train station. So I recorded the doodle. People were stepping all over. I don't know how people walk without looking. Everybody was stepping their foot on it, and their foot was carrying the doodle on their leg. And I was screaming, "That's doodle! Don't step on it! Don't step!" And people were still stepping on it. People don't pay attention. So I recorded it. And the MTA has been locking up the bathrooms early. There was a time they locked up the bathroom for 4 years. Because I'm from Nigeria, I have diarrhea, so I wouldn't be able to find the bathroom to use. And the guy took me home, so I could come use the bathroom, and the guy raped me in 2020. So they locked up the bathroom for 4 years. The police department and the MTA are conspiring to kill me. They don't let me use the bathroom, so now they lock up the bathroom early. They used to lock it up at 12 midnight. Now they lock it up at 7 p.m. So a lot of people that need to use the bathroom, they defecate for themselves. So the MTA Inspector General, you said you want to investigate what is going on with the bathroom, why they don't let people use the bathroom. So I recorded evidence yesterday, and I noticed some MTA worker was following me around as I was sitting on this train. They were coming around me, staring at me to see if I was sleeping. And when I woke up, I used a blanket to cover up my stuff, and they stole the blanket. And they left these chips. And yesterday night, Thursday, February 5th, 2026, as I went to buy food at 86th Street and 5th Avenue. So they had a police officer stand there, there's a police camera, and as soon as he saw me, he was like saying, "This fucking guy." I was born a boy, I'm not a girl. So and I told him, "You're very rude, sir," and I didn't buy the food and I walked away. The camera at 86th and 5th Avenue, the police camera recorded. The last time the MTA, had this, like 2 weeks ago or so, some of the MTA workers came around the area and said, "This fucking guy to me." The next day, they stole all my belongings, like this. And today, they were, the MTA workers since last time, they've been coming around me, looking at me. And when they noticed I fell asleep, they've stolen my blanket. I used that blanket to cover myself tight, and they left these chips. I guess to mock me, because I have diarrhea, because I always beg for food, so that, and these chips always give me, potato always give me diarrhea. So they're using the toilet to abuse immigrants, and to rob immigrants. They've stolen my green card, stolen my social security number. So the MTA and the NYPD, anytime Trump is president, they will lock me up in the mental ward, steal from me. So they've already stole from me this morning. So there's a spy camera on the train. This is 865 our train. So please get the camera and please help me. If you're watching this video, please donate to my Cash App. I'm looking for non-conditional charitable assistance to my Cash App NYC Homeless and ultimate person, or a student loan to my Cash App NYC Homeless and ultimate person. And the student loan should have the same interest rate U.S. government charges students here in America, or U.S. commercial banks charge students here in NYC. I solemnly swear United States federal laws and other balance and U.S. Constitution that I'm seeking non-conditional charitable donation to my Cash App NYC Homeless and ultimate person, and on a student loan to my Cash App NYC Homeless and ultimate person. I'm not looking for any surrogacy, and I'm not looking for marriage with anyone, and I'm not looking for membership in any cult or gang, whether sexual cult or gang, or religious cult or gang, or social cult or gang. And nobody should make a movie about me because I die or I'm killed. Even though people used to tell me I might be just as a child, I don't look at you. And I'm very introverted. I really don't talk about my private life with anybody, even my mother's daughters, and any friend who doesn't really know about my private life. I'm only speaking under duress now about my private life. And I even told immigration that I'm introverted. I don't really talk about my private life unless I'm under duress like this. My immigration file number is 7795462. So please, in case I die, I'm killed also, no family member or friend should administer my state. My state should be administered by people that Silver like me, Silver actions like me, I have to deny me of the past, and should get just my me and my late mother, and donate the rest of my assets out in charity to those suffering in the people like me and my late mother, and those being provided by Trump should get assistance also. No family member or friend should get any assistance for inheritance from my estate. Thank you. And nobody should try to trick me with any of the things I'm not into. So please investigate.